Check. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Hi, nice to see everybody. Good to be here. Nice to be seen. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes when I get home from grocery shopping, I'll pull up in my driveway and I'll see neighbors out in the side of the driveway, and I'll like run into the house as fast as I can so I can avoid a conversation with them. So sometimes it's not nice to be seen. You ever do that? Or you drive in and you're like, I've fucking seen people all day. I did that yesterday. I get home. By the way, I'm Dean. That's Lachlan. Good to see you. Lots of stuff, including a Chris Sky update, forced birth update. Also, I'm not that nerd dad, so I need to update that on my Chiron. But I get home yesterday. I'll change it in a second. And lovely neighbors. Like, I've got no reason to do this. But I was like, busy day with work. We had a ton of meetings, just a ton of business stuff. And then, podcasts in the afternoon, which went brilliantly with Geist and Adler. Awesome show. So I go out and I grab a couple groceries because I needed creamer. I love myself a nice silk creamer for my coffee. Some people drink it black. I think only idiots drink black coffee. I think it's pointless. So I come back. And my neighbors are talking to each other. There's one neighbor here, one neighbor here. There's a neighbor across the street. They're over. And I don't understand a lot of the things they say. So anyway, it's a long story. I get out of my car. They all wave to me. Do one of these. I do. Nice to see you. And someone says something to me. And you know what I did?
Oh, no.
You know what I did?
You ducked in.
Absolutely pretended I didn't hear them. And I'm looking right at the person as they're like, would you like to come over for a coffee? And I'm like, and I just kept walking. Like I didn't hear them, even though I was staring right at them. And they're staring right at me going, clearly you heard what I said. And I just kept walking into my house and giving it the old wave. Yeah. Like the worst neighbor in the fucking world. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that. Yeah, thank God I'm not. I know you're probably worse than me. So there are days where I get home and there are people on the street. There's a block party. I came home. There's an impromptu block party on my street because I lived on this closed street in front of my house. And everybody's having a great time. And they're like coming over. They're doing one of these. I come over and I'm like, yeah, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. And I never went. I never showed up. And then I saw them later that night. They're like, oh, you missed the block party. I'm like, I don't know if I missed it. Am I an asshole again? Is that what happened? Have I gone back to, because it's just for me. Like sometimes I just don't want to talk to people like that.
Yeah.
But are you the same kind of asshole? Are you the same asshole? Or you're like, I don't feel like talking to people right now.
It's
a burden to me.
I'll pay attention to you if you pay attention to me, guy. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to encourage a conversation that do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I do understand what you're saying, but that wasn't the question. Have you done that? Have you had neighbors,
have I
people
ditched?
Come up to you and you make a beeline for the
conflict.
house, or you've lied? No, not even after conflict. Like just some guy's like, hey, neighbor. And you're like, bud, I'd love to talk, but I got to take a shit. Have you done that one?
No, I
do it all the time.
Not me. I will engage.
During COVID. Do you know how many times I use COVID as an excuse during COVID not to talk to people? I had this conversation last night 4,000 times.
Okay, here's the thing about COVID. And I remember and I don't want to make this sound like I am making light of anybody else and their issues that they had with the lack of socialization through COVID. But I didn't hate it.
I got a confession to make too. If we're going to be making COVID confessions, you want to start there? COVID confessions? I missed 4 weddings and told all 4 of those people that I had COVID.
You can still use that. I think I have COVID right now. I have not felt good lately.
As I, no word of a lie, I have used it post-pandemic, even though we're kind of still in a perpetual pandemic. I have used, pretty sure, you know what, I got something. I just took a test. It's not confirmed. Can't do it. You know how many times I've lied about having COVID collectively over the past 3 years, just so I wouldn't have to
you're a much shittier person than me.
I am a shitty human being. I'm there now.
We have finally discovered who the shittier guy on the show is, and everyone thought it was me. Okay, I need to read something.
Because my kids got like COVID 3 times each.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like for
I don't
real.
think I got it.
Oh yeah, you did. Everybody has had it.
I
twice.
don't.
My
I
kids
might
got it
have it
3
now.
times each, and the third time my youngest son got it, 17. Just a stud. Jake's a stud. Anyway, third time he gets it. It was like 4 days before I had to go visit family, and I'm like, buddy, thank you. That's a fact. I was really proud of him for getting COVID because he got us out of a whole weekend.
Get
like
in
just
here.
a nightmare weekend.
Give
Get in
me
here,
a
you
hug.
little bastard. Love you so much. You made me so proud getting so sick.
I just got a message, a DM from someone who is, I believe, because I hear from her on a fairly regular basis. I believe a couple of things about this individual. Okay. I have never met this person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I have a strong suspicious feeling that she might be a touch unhinged.
All right. You got
Which
an,
I am
you going to read the DM?
I'm
let
gonna
me
read the
assess
DM.
whether or not this
It's-
woman who DM'd you is unhinged.
It's
I
about
got a
this
fucking
show,
great
about
filter.
you. It's about
Okay.
you and I particular. And I believe we have actually even maybe talked about this individual in the
Okay.
past. Okay. And she sent me a note recently. She's just catching up on some of our podcasts. So she was listening to one from last week where I had suggested that I could fix you. So
Okay.
she dug into that. And I believe it was the avocado shirt day.
I look fucking sweet in that avocado shirt.
So anyway, I'm going to read it. There is an offensive comment in here. I'm going to read the comment as is in the DM. And I apologize if it does offend anybody.
R word?
This is
it the R word?
no.
G
no.
word.
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry
Okay.
about it because you're not saying it. You're just repeating it, and you.
I'm just
condone
repeating it.
Yeah.
But I tried to find a way to take it out, but it kind of loses a little bit of the context, and she kind of backtracks anyway, regardless. And when I hear from this individual, I don't just get one note. I get like it's a long one. It's always a chore.
Oh, it's like a dissertation. This is someone that you get like
That's why
long rambling, like I need you to change a bunch of things in your life emails. One of those. For
Yeah,
me to be happy, you have to do something.
Not
One of those
always.
emails?
Not always.
Has to
There
let you
is
know. Yeah.
there is generally something that sets her off.
All right.
And then a reason why she contacts me. Did you
Is
were
she
in
an
radio
idiot?
long?
Yeah, I was. Is
No.
she an idiot?
I
Okay.
think she's just a little unhinged. I think
low
we all
IQ.
are.
No,
and
not me.
Anyway, I have a feeling that she
You gonna
she
read it?
means well.
All right.
Okay, so I'll read it.
Okay.
Before we read that though,
The
when you were in
preamble
radio?
to this has been incredible, by the way.
Okay.
Like it's like 7 minutes of you telling me what you're going to read, and then I'm like, "Are you going to read it?" And you're like, "I'll read it." And then you're like, "By the way, how long were you in radio for?" 20 years, roughly.
You were in 20 years. Did you ever get faxes and
Yes.
written letters and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Snail
Did you
mail.
ever get like crazy, like the
Well,
schizophrenic ones?
Yeah. Like the insane ones always came on fax or by snail mail, and they were written in cursive, and it was all shaky because of the pills and the drugs. Yeah. That's why.
I've been saving them. I've got like a file folder full of them. I got some just great. There's one guy that sends me weekly stuff.
Can you
Okay.
just read this fucking
Angelica.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention her name because I don't want other people thinking that we're reading something that they sent me. Okay.
Okay.
Oh no. You have got to fix Dean. That new haircut is awful. He looks like a nerdy little gay guy. Not that there's anything wrong with being a nerdy gay dude.
Right.
But his smaller stature, that style of glasses, and now combined with that hairstyle, oh my God, no. What is he having the sides trimmed? What is he having the sides trimmed now? And it's either spiked or moosed up, punk style. Most people 55 plus cannot rock that look anymore. And then combine it with the avocado shirt, I can't even. So here's my Dean advice. He needs to grow the sides back out. The shaved style makes his head look small and like he's trying too hard. He should wear his hair looser, not so
Loose
Coffee.
hair. Okay.
A better hairstyle for Dean. He sent a picture.
Okay.
He should also try some colors in his wardrobe. I don't mean avocado. All that black he wears washes him out. Locke, you really need to fix this poor guy. This is the hairstyle she wants you to rock.
A bowl cut from the 50s? That's the best. She wants me to look like a cracked out Jim Caviezel.
Well,
that's
and,
awesome.
you know, now that you're a senior citizen, you really can't pull this stuff off. I like the fact, too, that you're 6'4".
I know. This is great. And he looks small in stature. Dude, that is a microcosm of what is fucking wrong with everybody. It's like, here, I see something I don't like. I'm going to tell you that you look ridiculous, and I'm going to tell you how you should start. I'm going to tell you what you're doing. And she might be right. Like, there, listen, I
don't mind the new haircut. I don't mind.
It's not even a new haircut. This is just a haircut. Like, it's just literally the same haircut. I just get more of them because I travel. Let me explain Dean's whole routine. Do you want to know my routine? I'll take you through my beauty routine. Here you go.
Yeah.
I get haircuts every 2 to 3 weeks because I travel for business, and you can't go in there with a mangy ass head. You just can't. And I've tried, and they've told me, my business partners, you need a fucking haircut. And you have to start wearing nicer clothes. And you can't dress like a podcaster. I'm like, okay, yeah, get it. So I go into these business meetings and situations and places and countries and with people who actually are professional. So I've had to profesh it up, right? It doesn't work in certain situations because I like to do this thing called sexy indifference, where it's like, hey, listen, you're going to love me no matter what because I'm a great guy. And I know what I'm talking about in said space.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I am not interested in wearing clothes for other people. And this haircut is just the same haircut I used to get every 6 months. I just get them every few weeks now. The glasses are literally, and I'm not kidding you, 75% off. That's why I got them. And they just look okay.
I don't
and
listen.
I can fucking see.
Here's the
and
thing.
I take no offense to it. I'm really happy Angelica is very interested in my aesthetic pleasure.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful for her suggestions. And because she didn't like my avocado shirt, it's okay. I'm still going to wear it because the right people like it. And I look like a fucking snack. So I'll keep wearing it.
I will say this about the judgment that women have of men. Men are fixers, right? Yeah. When a woman has a problem, and this is going to get offensive probably to half of our audience. When females get upset about something, men go, all right, let's sit down. What can we do? All right. Does it involve tools? Right? If they can fix the problem, they're trying to look for a solution.
Okay.
And a lot of times women don't want that. Okay. They don't want that conversation. They just want to have the conversation.
Which I've never understood.
Drives fucking men insane.
I've never understood that part of like the male-female relationship. Like I get when a woman is like, you know, I have someone.
They don't want a solution.
I have someone I go to for solutions. A female in the space where I'm like, tell me about these clothes. Should I be wearing these things? Should I not be wearing these things? Like, and this person understands the space, so she educates me. And this person comes to me to talk to me about things to move past certain things. This person doesn't go, I just need to dump this out on you and I don't want you to talk. I've never understood that dynamic between men and women, where a woman goes, here's the deal. And there are men that do it too, but there are a woman who's like, here's the deal. I'm upset and I just need to talk to you about it. And you go, have you tried this? And she's like, I don't want solutions. I just want to talk about it. I'm like,
it drives me insane.
Well, guess what? I don't want to talk about it unless there's a solution, because this is just a pain in my ass.
If you meet any man outside of the millennial age, there's probably going to be a difficulty trying to sit them down and have a conversation with them about why you're upset without them jumping in and going, well, have you tried this? Right? If you just take a hammer and bang on the fender 3 times, it'll fix everything. Okay. Now, here's the one difference between men and women when it comes to fashion. And I've learned this over the years because my wife my lovely wife has had numerous comments over the years about how I dress and how I look, especially if we're going to go out to a gathering that involves, I don't know, some sort of an event. Okay. So we have this wedding coming up.
Be more specific. Okay, wedding.
We have a wedding coming up, right? And I've had to buy clothes for the different portions of the evening, which drives me crazy, or for the week. So not only did I have to go get a tux, right? And I keep telling my daughter that I got a full white tux, and that can she please call
shit up? Yeah.
Can she please call the tux place, because they've lost my big white cowboy hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that to her.
I told her yesterday, I said, you need to call Moores. They don't have my white cowboy hat.
Moores. You need to call Tip Top. They don't have my bowler hat.
My daughter is losing her mind because she doesn't know what I ordered, because I did actually order off the menu.
Did you? Right?
I was supposed to order these one suits and all this anyway.
You're like, fuck it, you can't. You can't, can you? No.
Anyway, so anyway, the funny thing about that, I just want to have a conversation. I don't want you to fix it.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that is women are very specific about how to fix you and how you're supposed to look and act in certain situations. So I've always been fascinated by that hypocrisy. And if you point that hypocrisy out to them,
they get super pissed.
Yes, it doesn't go well. Like, it's gonna ruin the evening.
Oh, dude, you know how many times I've done that on purpose just so it would ruin the evening, so I wouldn't have to talk to that person for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I don't want any solutions, just want you to talk. Well, here comes 6 solutions. It's like, fuck you. I'm not talking to you for the rest of the night. I'm like, job done. Fran says something cool in the comment section. She's like, haha, it should be so easy for you guys. For once, you don't have a job except to just sit and listen. For once, Fran? For once? Just sit and listen. That's all. Why do you want to work so hard? Fran, listen, I'm going to explain to you how men are wired. We're hunter-gatherers. We're solution people, from the evolutionary standpoint, where when we go outside, we're just looking to kill something and eat it and looking to procreate. That's like our animalistic lizard brains. And our ability to reason then goes that much further. This is evolutionary psychology, so just bear with me. Goes that much further because we have 3 different parts of our brain. Obviously, the ability to reason, which other animals don't have. So when you come to us, it's like, okay, you're protected, you're safe, you're in my space. All those I've eaten. We have sex from time to time. All my needs are covered. And so then we move into solution mode because that's how we're wired.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's the thing. I just need you to listen. You're like, but isn't this just then you just want to complain? And the way I'm wired, because of my animal,
can you videotape
brain,
that next time you say that to a woman? I just want to compare,
because in the end, all that is your significant other, female and males. Males do this too. It works both ways. I'm not engendering any terrible stereotypes here. But what I'm saying is sometimes your partner's like, I just want you to listen. And you're like, well, actually, no, because that's totally counterproductive. And I don't care enough to listen to anybody complain, including you. And boy, oh boy, that got me into trouble quite a bit. However, I meant it and I still mean it. I cannot be around someone who just complains without solutioning. It drives me fucking mental.
Oh, me too.
Always drive me mental.
I will say this.
I will. How shit my life is and how shit my day was, and I just want you to listen. And you're like, okay, this is reverse therapy, and it's not good for me. So why are we doing this without a solution?
Yeah, I will say this though. There are times that I've had to do this as a husband, as somebody who has been I'm celebrating my 29th wedding anniversary. So you guys can have an opinion.
Miracle, because I know you.
Which everybody can have an opinion about, but yeah. I do actually care about my relationship. I love my wife.
You're lost without her. Dude, we talked about that last week. You were lost without Deb, and you love her. Yes.
I do put an effort in when it comes to these types of things. So if I can give anybody that is in a new relationship, there are moments where I will say, listen, this is an easy fix. I've got a solution here, right?
Yeah.
And I will throw it out immediately, but then there are times when I realize that she's not going to be okay with me like trying to fix a problem. And it's generally it's generally when I shouldn't be commenting about the solution.
But that's when it's the most fun.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because it's like there are moments in those conversations, and I can only like I think back because it's like a nightmare that I go back to. I get the cold sweats when I think about being in a marriage, where it's like someone will come through the front door. It's like this happened and this happened. You're like, oh, okay, well, we're all having a happy day here. Do you want to maybe kind of save that for later when it's just mano a womano? No. Okay. Well, we got that going for us today. We're just going to upset everybody's fruit basket this afternoon. Yes. Men do it too. Men are worse at it. Men are the worst. We're the biggest wussies on the planet. All we do is complain. You talk
when
about
I get into a circular like
the circle,
when I spiral on shit, it's not good.
No. So it's like it's not listen, it's not gender specific. It's just specific to us. And I'm talking about my experience and your experience, but it's a shared experience where traditionally, because men and women are wired differently, usually comes from the female side. That's been my experience.
I will say this. I had a moment where we were clothes shopping. So, and the problem with me is
you moron.
So I went out. No, hold on. Because she cares so much more than I do. I'm like, okay, well then you come with me and we're going to pick out a shirt. And the problem is in the past,
like a nice shirt or just a shirt,
dress shirt. It's for the rehearsal dinner. She wants me to match her dress somewhat. So there's an attempt to match it. And she's like, I'd like you to buy a shirt that you're going to wear more than once. And I'm like, okay, well, it's got to fit. And the issue with Locke is I'm 6'4", I'm 230 pounds.
Great ass.
I got a nice shitter. I got long arms. If I go to the big and tall, like if I go to George's, they might have one shirt in my size. I need a large, tall.
Yeah.
Right. And I need a bigger neck. Right. And if I go to Tip Top, they might have one size that fits. So I live in this sort of weird world of shirts, dress shirts, and I also hate them. So there's that. So I literally, we're literally leaving the mall with a shirt.
Yeah.
That, by the way, may or may not be pink, that I am never going to wear ever again.
Just that one night. Yeah.
And the sleeves don't fit.
Oh.
And shame. She can tell that I didn't like the shirt because I was like, this shirt matches. You like it? I'll suck it up. It's one night. Let's go to the goddamn counter. Let's buy the fucking shirt. And let's go. So
did you get this one? Hang on. Did you get this one? Well, if I knew it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have come.
No,
okay.
no. We didn't do that. No,
well, but she's
upset. She's upset because I'm not happy with the shirt she likes. Right. And the thing is, this is she just wants me
to match.
She just wants me to match. And and I just want her to be happy. I don't really care about the shirt.
Well, then you got to pretend that you enjoy it too. You got to pretend you enjoy that experience. What are you fucking doing? Have I not taught you anything?
I was trying to pretend, but I also wanted to get out of there. So we're leaving, and she goes, I just need to step into this store quickly.
And you're like,
to buy something. And I go, okay, I'll wait here. Right. Yeah. She's going in to buy one thing. 35 minutes later, she comes walking out. And as we're leaving, I said to her, you know what I find interesting is that you're upset with me about not liking a shirt that's pink, doesn't fit me in the neck, and the arms are too short. But you'll spend 35 minutes looking for the perfect lip gloss color. Guess how that conversation went?
Like that? Yeah.
The problem is I'm not wrong. Like that's if I was wrong a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing is that relationships are a sight to behold between a man and a woman, right? And after 29 years, I'm sure you've had a few dust ups in the mall where you're like, I don't want to be here. And she's like, you make everything suck. And like, I mean, dude, I've heard it my whole married life. It was like, if I'd have known you were going to be like this, I wouldn't have invited you. I'm like, I tried to get out of it like for 4 days. So, like, of course I'm going to be like this because I have to do this for attrition just so our kids don't see a scrap. So that's why I'm here. I'm not here for you. I couldn't stand it. I hated being in this place of doing these things. And now then I just got to the point where I would just say no. And no is this incredible word, right? When you say no to doing stuff with your wife that you know is going to be contentious when you say no. And so what you're doing is you're loving her extra by saying no. When she's like, come to the mall with me.
No. I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong there.
Well, I think I'm right.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just take the advice of the guy that's been divorced and ignore the advice from the guy that's been married for 29 years.
30 almost. Yeah.
I did drop this on her too because the conversation continued into the evening.
Yeah.
I told her because she was commenting on my lack of ability to compromise or right. I think it ended up. I think something like that. Anyway, I don't know.
After 30 years, she shouldn't be overly shocked that you're not happy with a pink shirt that doesn't fit, right?
Anyway, I did say to her, because she doesn't like folding sheets with me. And I like the teamwork aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you hold the ends and she just wants to do it herself.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you don't do it right.
I don't do it right.
Too rammy.
Something. I don't know what it is. But then I said to her, and you know what? For 29 years, you've refused to fold sheets with me.
Like you're that upset by it. Because it means you don't have to get off the couch while she's making the fucking bed. Good one. Way to turn that one right around.
I did.
You never let me do any laundry.
No, I do laundry. No, I'm just saying. I threw that one out there about the teamwork thing, right? And that's when she kind of had a little smile on her face.
Well, you know who's getting divorced? You know who's getting divorced? Not you.
No.
You know who? And he's had a terrible month because he lost the Toronto mayor's election and then got arrested as soon as he landed in
Is
Edmonton,
Chris
Alberta.
Sky breaking up with his...
Yeah. Chris Sky's getting arrested. He and his porn star wife, Jenny Sky. Hard to track, where she's from in her previous life, and hard to track Chris and where he's from in his previous life. However, it is over. Jenny Sky put this out. Family lawyer needed. DM me. All of a sudden, everybody starts talking about this doofus that runs around selling fucking T-shirts out of a garbage bag and telling people he's running for mayor and he's going to end COVID and he's going to beat up the guys at the World Economic Forum. That guy, like, he's just a grifter. He's just a fucking asshole. He's just what he is. So then he puts this out. Now, prepare yourself, because in this DM exchange or thing that he posted online, Chris admits to being cheated on by his wife and being shocked, but not just anybody, an old guy. Old guy took that to town. Chris is really upset. And he explains the marital issues, which is like, this is what normal people do, right? This is what normal people running for office do. They tell people how their wife was getting railed by some old guy who he thought was a billionaire. This is maybe the greatest post I've ever seen. Quote, I left my wife because she had an affair with an old man. She thought he had billions. She followed through with the affair before finding out no money for her. Then tried to come home to me like nothing had happened. So she got herself dumped. Then she did worse things to herself in our marriage. I don't know what's worse than that. So now separation will become divorce. That's the truth. This is my favorite part. Unfaithful due to greed. Due spelt D-O. Wrong due, bud. D-U-E is the one you're looking for. Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough out there for a pimp. So he's been quite upset. He's been talking about how his wife has been. That's only one of like 20 posts that he's put out detailing, and I won't bring up the rest, detailing how his wife, who he made porns with, like profit, like went to Mexico, he put her in all these situations where there's a ton of porn. Let's just make a ton of porn and one of my dad's show homes and Sky Homes. Let's do that. That's what he was doing. That's how he was making money for a while when he wasn't slinging, what he was slinging. Now, then he gets into the freedom movement. He starts selling T-shirts. He's making money, runs for mayor, gets people to donate, like, I don't know, 250 grand. So a little bit of money. And the whole time, Jenny Sky is banging an old guy. Just, and he's like, She thought he was worth billions. He's worth nothing. Now it's divorce city. Here I come, everybody. Like, that's a tough month for Horsehead. Loses the mayor's election by all of it. Gets arrested for the 72nd and 73rd time this last month, in the month of June, 72 and 73, by the way. Then all of a sudden he finds out his wife is drilling a senior citizen. And now he's playing out the divorce, asking people to actually send him money to pay the retainer for the divorce lawyer,
Oh my
as is
God.
she.
You know
So
what's
if you ever sat there and thought, this guy's for me, there's your hero. What a fucking loser. He's always been a loser. He'll always be a loser.
yeah.
And losers like to tell everybody that their wife got uncorked by a senior citizen, and that's why they're getting divorced. Even if that happened to me, I certainly wouldn't be sharing that news with the world. You know why? I'm not a loser. There you go.
You know what I find interesting about that email is just like it actually sounds like it was written by a 10-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Did something happen to him when he was a kid? Because I know a couple of people that are sort of stuck in grade 8 and they write like this.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of trauma.
That's
Like
how
that-
their lack of education comes through. His own.
Yeah.
He's incredibly stupid. That's the problem with most of the people that are still in the arena of protesting or trying to fucking figure out how they can kite off of this thing so that they can.
I wonder
make
what
some
happened
money.
to him.
I don't know. Maybe his parents like suffocated him as a child a little bit too much.
Something's going on there.
Maybe
Like
they left him in a hot
cognitively.
car. Yeah, I think they left him in a hot car. Could be drug related. I know he's sterile because of all the roids. He talks about that all the time, how he's made himself sterile because of the roids. But I don't know. I mean, that's not a centered individual. That is a guy with a long history of doing things he shouldn't be doing, putting things in his body he shouldn't. I'm sure that plays a few different ways, if you ask me. And he's a rack dude. Like he is exactly everything that is wrong. He's the prototype of like, not just grifting, but lying and all the bullshit that happened during the pandemic. And watching his life fall apart, watching him get arrested for the 72nd, 73rd time as he ran for mayor, watching him like admit that his wife got like unloaded on by like an old dude, and it's over, and watching him like implode. It was like it was self-described. Like we've been talking about this. It's unsustainable. You can't keep running around acting like an asshole your whole life. Otherwise, this happens, and it happened to him. And I encourage everybody that thinks Chris Guy's a great guy. I encourage everybody to look into where the money went to. You can actually fill out a form with the city of Toronto, and they can audit where his money went, because he raised a couple $100,000. Like he literally had convinced other people that are just as stupid as him, that don't believe in like objective reality, that he was an option. Like he wasn't even running. He was just pretending to run so people could donate money to him. Then the whole thing falls apart, and then he takes the money, and then his wife asks for a divorce because I don't know, maybe she was banging an old dude. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
It's interesting.
Season. It's my favorite.
It's interesting because something recently happened to my co-host Jimmy. Little James P. White got hacked, and it was a really dumb thing to get hacked for. And it seems fairly obvious when you talk about it out loud. It seems fairly obvious when you get approached by somebody on social media, right? Hey, I need your help, blah, blah, blah. I need a code. Facebook sent me your contact info, la, da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden he's lost control of his account. So he's locked out of his Facebook, and he's locked out of his Instagram. And then those hackers go after the people on his list, like in his.
What do you mean go after? Like they spam them, or do they beg them for money? Like do they act like him and ask for money?
They act like they're Jimmy, and they're like, "Hey, listen, I'm in tough. I'll be able to pay off the end of the week. Can you hook me up with $150, right? And email transfer me this, blah blah blah." And the thing about Jimmy getting hacked, it was about 2.5 weeks ago that it happened. They went hard. They went hard on his list. Like I was hearing from people for 4, 5, 6, 7 days straight from Instagram. Has Jimmy been hacked? Like a lot of people were reaching out to me. So they touched almost everybody on his friends list. They went hard. And I kept saying out loud, I mean, why is it that they're like, this can't be working? After about a week, Grant, also on my show in the mornings, actually got the guy to respond on Jimmy's messenger on Facebook. Not only that, ended up chatting with him on a video call when we were doing a show. In the middle of the damn show, he was caught, and we find out a couple of things. One, and the guy could have been lying. One, the guy was in Nigeria, worked for an organization that does this. This is what they do. So they get into people's accounts, they lock them down, they change the passwords. You can't, and Facebook does nothing about it. So they can literally go hog wild on these accounts for months, years. They'll probably let this one rest for a bit and then come back and try again. And then he also admitted that he had been successful at getting money out of Jimmy's friends list.
He admitted to it. He admitted to like stealing because I guess and like conning people because I guess it doesn't matter. He's in Nigeria. Like who gives a shit? I just can't believe
we don't know his name. He's James P. White.
Yeah,
Nigerian James.
You still don't know who the dude is. You just know that he's from Nigeria. Admitted that he hacked the account. Admitted that he's conned people into giving him thousands of dollars.
And he said we've made well over $2,000 on Jimmy's accounts.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and I started to think about it, and I was just, you know what? And you and I, when we hear about this kind of stuff, one getting hacked, somebody giving up some money, our immediate reaction is, oh my God, you're such an idiot.
Yes.
And Jimmy told me about a couple of people that admitted to him that they had given him money to this Nigerian hacker. And then he started telling me about the people that get, and these people cannot afford to give. And you know what it was? This one guy in particular was like, Jimmy has helped him before. And this guy was like, yeah, I can't really afford this, but Jimmy's helped me in the past. There's this, I don't know what it is, but there is this thing that people that like Chris Sky have. They have this ability to sniff out with communication, with dialogue, whether it be on text, whether it be in person. They have this ability to sniff out the people that are easy targets,
easy marks. Yeah.
And it's sad. And you want to call them dumb right away. And
hold it. No,
what is wrong with you?
It's empathy. Like,
which I don't have. And that,
me either.
Somebody says hi to me on fucking Facebook. Hey, how are you? I block them immediately.
That's how I act when I get home and open the door to my car and I see my neighbors hanging out. I'm like,
you and I avoid all of these sort of interferences in our life. Jimmy has lost his Facebook page. Everything on that page is gone.
His history, his interactions, pictures.
He'll never get it back. Nobody at Facebook is ever going to help him out because they have hacked into hundreds of thousands. Not only that, now he's going to have to deal with his dumb friends and family that have given this guy money, and they might come at him for it. Like he feels awful about it. The shame is you can just see it dripping off of him.
But you know what? Hold it though. Like you're talking about something prescient. You're talking about something that I think is a real fucking major problem that we have in society, right? We have these people, and listen, you're gonna get mad at me. Some people are gonna get mad at me. I know people who have been hacked. I know people who have been scammed on Facebook. I know people who have given over their passwords to people pretending to be CRA on text and on email. I know people who've given money so they could get money from a Nigerian prince. I know these people. Like I know these, and to a person, every single person that has done that isn't unlucky. Okay. They're either incredibly nice, like too nice, too empathetic. There's one of two things. They're either so nice and they have bleeding hearts and they're better people than us that they just go, you know what? Not going to ask any questions. I trust that guy. I'm going to send him $100, send him $200.
Yep.
Or, you know what I'm going to say? They're really fucking dumb, like really stupid. And so you only have those two categories of people. And the category of person during the pandemic that Chris Sky targeted are the same category of people these hackers target, right?
Yep.
Empathetic,
That's why
loving,
I'm always
or dumb.
That's why I'm always shocked at, because like look at how he writes. He is clearly not an intelligent man.
No, he's an
but
idiot.
he has figured out how to actually make a living by scamming people. And I don't know if that's smart or
Of course
what
it's
is
not. It's not. It's opportunistic. Like, dude, if we wanted to during the pandemic, and we were approached numerous times by different organizations, lobby groups, to post lies, to post studies that were untrue, to post like ideological science shit that wasn't real. Like we were and told that we would get thousands of dollars, 5,000, 10,000, give you 15 grand to like post and endorse this series that we're doing. Everybody, you should watch this. Everybody should watch this. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not interested in doing that. And that's who they're targeting. They're targeting those people who are paranoid, people who are nice, people who are literally think that the world is out to get them. And you can't tell me people in the universe of that young man's Facebook account don't feel the same way he does, don't have the same religious leanings, don't have the same empathetic attitude, kindness, his community, all those people in it. And you can't tell me some of the people weren't stupid, because those are the people that are like, yeah, you know what? I'll just send money over here. No problem. Well, because someone asked me to online. Like, fuck, are you
They must have hit.
Right now?
They must be cheering. They must be in the office going, "Yeah, we hooked a good one."
But here's the thing. I don't trust anybody with anything. Like I got a notice the other day from Google saying, hey, you know what you have to do is you got to change your password because it's been compromised. So I had to literally go back and check to make sure it was Google. So I like quadruple check the email address, send Google a note. Is this true? They sent back basically, yes, your account passwords are compromised.
I deleted
reset your passwords. And I'm like, okay, now I know where it came from. I have official receipts. I can go and do that. But we live in a world where people will get a text and they'll say, hey, if you don't give me 25 grand, CRA is going to throw you in jail. Now, here's the thing. CRA doesn't do that, but we have people that are that dumb, that are that paranoid, that are like, jail sounds bad. I better send him 25 grand. Only at 26. Doesn't matter. That's my life savings. And they do it. They do it.
Jimmy, about 4 or 5 years ago, came screaming into the control room. It was at the end of the show, and we're just sort of doing a couple of odd ends, and he's in a huff, and Grant's like, what's going on? Jimmy, what? Are you okay? Like he was clear. Yeah, I just got a call. I got to get to the bank. I got to get some money. Taxes. And we're like, whoa. Now, the irony of this is that I had been berating him on air. This is the only way this Father Locke stepped in when I found out. He hadn't done his taxes for, I think it was closing in. It was either 8 or 9 or closing in on 10 years. He hadn't done his taxes. And the reason why I was trying to get him to do his taxes is about 5-6 years ago. The reason I was trying to get him to do his taxes is because he was missing out on all these, like, he is the guy that gets the GST checks. He's the guy that gets the damn grocery bill rebate, right? Like, he's that guy. He gets it. And I'm like, dude, all this stuff is tied to your freaking taxes, but you got to do your taxes. Just take your shit to an H&R Block, sit down, and they'll get you your money. And anyway, it finally worked, but this is just before then. So I'm like, as soon as I'm busy doing something and Grant's trying to calm him down, and I look over at him and I'm like, you haven't done your taxes in 10 years. Why would CRA? And he stopped and he thought about it. He was literally off to do, I don't know, meet some guy at a bank or
send the money. It's like those phone calls that you get. Like I got one a couple of days ago, and I actually appreciate these phone calls where the guy's like, please call this number. And I'm like, all right, I'll call the number and have some fun with him. So I call the number. I'm like, hey, dude, do I owe you guys money? And he's like, yeah, when can you pay it? Told me how much. It was like $4,000 or something like that. I'm like, if you send your mom to my house, I'll give it to her. And then I'll give her something else. And he's like, excuse me? I go, you heard. And then he told me to go fuck myself. And I'm like, wait a second. You're not really from Canada Revenue Agency, are you? And he's like, Fuck you again, he says to me. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Thanks. See you later. I enjoy those phone calls, but there are people that they fucking rattle, right? Like, it's not like duck cleaning. When you hear CRA, or the other one is like, there's a package waiting for you at the border, and everybody gets all excited because they think a package is waiting for them at the border. And they're like, I don't remember ordering a package, but this is exciting. If I just send $200 to this guy, the package will arrive at my house. And that's a big one. That's cost Canadians like $1.2 billion in the last year of people going, ooh, this is exciting. I've got a mystery package at the border I never ordered, but if I give this guy $200 in each transfer, I'll see that package, right? And the package never comes. And they're like, oh, I can't believe it's not here. No
So
package.
anyway, I'm on the air telling everybody how dumb Jimmy is for getting caught up in this scam.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm literally pulling the dad thing. And then we post the scam on the Facebook, on my Facebook page on the cruise. The one, like, we take a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to give me this code, blah, blah, blah. 3-4 days later, I'm looking at the comments going, there's like 50 people that are all admitting to getting scammed by the same scam.
I love it.
And here I am for a week straight berating the moron.
I know. And then everybody, you're like,
getting hacked.
Oh, God.
And then I realized
does it not give you a pause for
about
thought
25% of our audience got scammed.
Great audience you got there. You know what I had today?
Happened to me.
You know what I had today? And we'll work towards the end of the show with this. So I'm a big fan of a woman's right to choose. Big fan.
Yes.
Huge fan of abortion. Love it. Dig it. Big fan of terminating pregnancies if that's what a woman decides to do. It's a woman's decision. It's her body. Basically,
it's my decision.
It's a tumor with eyes until it's not. Anyway, just my thoughts. So doorbell rings this morning, right? No strain. Like, my doorbell doesn't ring very often because where I live, and when it rings, it's like, fuck, I got to go down the stairs, and then I go to the front door, and it's a bit of a hike. No one
rings the doorbell anymore.
Yeah, people do here.
Package.
People do here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go to the door, and as I open it, this pamphlet falls out, which I'll show you in a sec. And I'm like, what the fuck? And this woman is walking away in a dress. And I'm like, hey. So she turns around. She goes, oh, hi. How are you? I go, great. Can I help you with something? She goes, I left you a pamphlet. It's right there. It just fell out of your door. And she starts walking back to the door, and I pick it up. And it's this pamphlet with this embryo of a embryo, which is like a zygote. You know what a zygote or an embryo is? It's an inseminated seed.
Mm-hmm.
A future human, which isn't human at all. It's just a zygote, right? And it's an anti-abortion pamphlet. Really glossy. Like, they put some work into this bad boy. And it starts with, shouldn't all human beings have human rights? Human rights begin when a human begins. It's an anti-abortion thing. It says, in Canada, we violently deny human rights to preborn human beings. Right? And I'm reading this. And what they did was they included some really exciting, like, chronological embryonic pictures. Number one, of course, the embryo.
Yeah.
Then they went to an aborted fetus, graphic aborted fetus, which looks like a gummy bear, from the abortion pill at 7 weeks. No way that you can confirm that that is what it is, or that that was an abortion pill after 7 weeks, or it wasn't. And then they've got, and this is probably going to, I don't even know if I can show it. Then they've got like a broken apart fetus from an actual abortion where you can just see pieces of this woman is sticking these things in people's doorways, jamming them in the door jamb in my neighborhood. And I'm looking at this, and she's standing about 10 feet in front of me, like, just standing there. And I start reading this. Science tells us that a human begins at fertilization. Absolutely untrue. Not what science says or their Bible. Human development begins at fertilization. That's just some fucking ridiculous comment. And then it goes on to say on the back how many children are murdered every year. Abortion drug, not fetuses, children, unborn children. They're not unborn children. They're fetuses and zygotes, everybody. That's all we know. Science. And it says abortion is a human rights violation. Help end the killing. Call 289-805-8298. Number again, 289-805-8298. Now, if you call that number, right, you'd go, fuck, this is going to be some heavy abortion stuff. Like, there's going to be some serious abortion stuff. I'm going to listen to some, like, really hot abortion tips. No, Do you know what it is? And it's really fascinating. Goes to a number in Mississauga, Ontario.
I already know what it is.
Calling 289-805-8298. You have reached the No to Trudeau callback line. You can find us at www.no2trudeau.ca.
Did you hear that? That is a political website, no2trudeau.com. Now, what is a political website, no2trudeau.com, paying people to go stick like glossy brochures of aborted fetuses in the door jambs of family homes across the Greater Toronto area, you may ask? Great question. This is not a church effort. This was paid for by the Conservative Party of Canada. See this? That party, Pierre Poilievre, his party, is putting pictures of dead fetuses in people's door jambs to get them to call that fucking phone number so that they can receive political propaganda on the phone to get this guy out. So this is about telling everybody that Justin Trudeau is a baby murderer. And that is what this is. So I said to the young lady, as she's standing there, I said, who pays you? She's like, this is volunteer. I'm from a church. I go, which church? She couldn't name it. Where is it? Wouldn't talk to me. Starts walking away. I start walking after her. And I take this pamphlet with me. And I said, if I see you in this neighborhood again, passing around pictures of dead fetuses or aborted fetuses, and if I see your forced birth ass in my neighborhood, I'm going to call the police because this is public mischief. This is disgusting. What you're doing is disgusting. You're putting pictures of medical waste in people's doorways. Medical waste to get people to vote against Justin Trudeau. Do you know that? And she's like, will you just please leave me alone? I go, leave you alone? You put fucking a glossy pamphlet of dead fetuses and zygotes in my door. I'm not leaving you alone until you get in your fucking car and leave. And she did. And I was happy that she left. She was with another dude who was so tough, he didn't say a fucking word, and he cowered, got in the car faster than she did. We're dealing with in this country, okay? I want everybody to pay attention to this. I'm going to drop some knowledge. In this country, we are dealing with disgusting, cult-like Christian nationalism that is attached to the politics, the policies, and the apologetics of conservatism in this country. And it is a nightmare. And I got this in my inbox today. I got this in my door today, and I wanted to share it with people. And I want you to pay very special attention to the rhetoric that comes out of Pierre Poilievre's mouth, because he is the guy and his party is the party that is paying to put pictures of dead babies or dead pre-birth zygotes in fucking family doorways. I was so motivated by that today. And I hate politics and I hate religion. And it all came to my house in one beautiful little foldable glossy today. And I can tell you something. I am going to crush that man for doing this, for trivializing, manipulating a woman's right to choose. Because I don't live there. You don't live there. And I know you don't either. At all. Right?
No.
And listen, this is not a joke. I'm not like This is stuff that these fucking lunatics, cult members, and religious zealots are peddling to win an election. Okay? This is someone's fear right here. That's what this is. That is a young woman's rape right here. That's what this is. And you fucking idiots are using it to send people to a No to Trudeau website.
It's kind of
now you've got my attention.
It's kind of crazy that the conservative movement, the mainstream conservative movement, has been hijacked by evangelical
assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very bothered by it because, I mean, I think everybody has a clear idea of what I feel about the changes that need to happen in this country, but clearly we don't have any I'm going to be forced to vote NDP.
That'll be quite the day, won't it? With little lockers in there, putting a check mark next to
On
the
the
great
old
orange.
the orange square.
God damn it. Gosh, God, I can't believe my values line up with the commies. God damn it.
The stepfather. My hippie stepfather.
Yeah, there you go.
Who
Isn't that
spent 6
fascinating?
years living in a teepee by the Moye River.
Did he
He'll be
really?
thrilled with me. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for doing this today. Sorry we had to end on that little diatribe, but
Yeah, no. You know what? It's worth
Nothing
bringing
makes
up.
me angrier.
That's the same webpage that they were peddling during the convoy too.
Oh yeah.
The conservative movement. So
Yeah. That's a conservative
I am. Here's how anti-religion I am. And I've commented on this, and I really feel that those two things, politics and religion, should not mix at all.
Do you know what I'm going to spend 2023 and 2024 doing? I'm going to make you a promise that I'm going to take this thing. Okay. This is religion, right? This is religion. This little hole with my finger. That's religion. That is politics. I'm going to take my thing. I'm going to just jam it in there over and over and over again. And
the problem I have is that I honestly, Dean, and I always struggle with these conversations about religion because I'm very anti-religion, but I also feel quite strongly that people, if they need something in their lives, and they find religion and that gives them some peace or gives them something to be positive about, that's a good thing. I've always maintained that I have a problem with religion. I don't have a problem with faith. I think people need something to believe in. So I struggle with the religious conversation because religion has not only hijacked politics, it's also hijacked the faith movement, right? Like, because you have to adopt to some ideology.
Something you have not seen and cannot prove. That is what faith is. That is why these asswipes keep telling everybody.
But I believe in faith, Dean,
because we can't explain it. I don't.
Because on a certain level, I have faith in things, right? But I don't go door to door, and I'm not going to vote for it, or I'm not going to run a political platform on how I live my life and the things that I believe in.
Right.
If somebody asked me my opinion about something, I would be able to share it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to force people to believe the things that I believe. So I struggle with this conversation, but I will say this: religion, in my very humble opinion, and if you are a healthy member of society and you believe in whatever religion you believe in, and you go to church and you have a strong community, all the more power to you.
For you.
All the more power to you. I don't necessarily think it's a sign of intelligence or lack of. I will try to recorrect here.
You don't,
but I will say this: we have got to do something about politics and religion colliding. Like when we moved to Alberta, my wife says to me, she goes, "We have a couple of choices for the kids." She goes, and I don't want you to get angry, but the public school system is Catholic. I went, what? She's like, yes, it's the main funded thing in most, like in a lot of parts of Alberta. Mm-hmm. And it was in St. Albert at the time. It was the main track for education. And I was like, well, I guess our kids aren't going to Catholic school. So we had to find another, like, that's how passionate I was. I removed my kids from the public school system and put them on another. There was a pamphlet that came out, like a leaflet came home with the girls. My daughter brings it home. She's like, "Hey, Dad, here you go." And then off to play. And I'm reading it. They wanted to do the Lord's Prayer we found a school that doesn't have religion. Then we've got to decide. I was ready to protest. Remember I told you about you're never going to get me out of my house to protest?
Yeah. You would.
My wife was literally, I'm putting on my shoes. She's like, "Where are you going?" "I'm going down to the school right now." It ended up not, because there was enough people that were in that school system, that track, that believed the way we believed, that religion and school shouldn't be. If my kids came home and said they wanted to explore religion, we would have given them the opportunity to do that in another household. I'm kidding. We would have supported it, but
Dude.
I'm not going to have it in the school. I
One of the
refuse
great-
to have it in the school.
Dude, and that is
should
how
not be in politics. I'm
that
sorry.
is, dude. Politics, education was predicated on Christianity, Catholicism, and religion in this country, which is
Should
colonialism at its fucking core. That's why we live in this fucking beautiful country. People who think it only has 150 years to it. It's closer to 13,000. The First Nations.
I get
of
that, but it needs to
people own this-
change. So I'll start.
Oh, it has
I'll
to
be-
change.
I'll
It
be
has
the
to. And it's
I'll be
starting to.
yeah.
It's starting to, which I like. But
And
listen,
I think what's happening is the religious sectors, the organized side of religion is realizing the lack of control and growth that they're seeing in society. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to grasp control of the way we live our lives by working their way into politics. So
Dude,
that's
it is-
exactly what's happening right now.
exactly. And you know what? We don't need to belabor that point. We've been going for an hour. You know how I feel. We'll come back and talk about it another time. Just one last quick postscript. Unlike you, I think anybody that chooses religion over their neighbor, that chooses to treat people like shit because their Lord or religion tells them to, is an idiot. I think anybody that chooses to follow religion over humanity, anybody that chooses to follow an invisible sky daddy with no proof other than a Bible that was written in 1611 by King James, or a Quran that was written a couple thousand years ago, we've got literally hundreds of thousands of years of history. And they're like, started 2,000 years ago. I think anybody that believes in those things, anybody believes in it, is an idiot, is just not a smart person, is a scared person looking for an operating system that comes in a book they can just apply to their lives. No ability to reason.
Maybe they need
no
that
ability to critique. Of course they do, because they
Yeah.
can't do it. They can't physically bring their minds to, wait a second, when I die, the lights are out?
Mhm.
Well, that can't be. That can't be.
And I
can't
I
believe
can
in that.
understand on
Yeah.
a certain level.
have
I can
to.
understand that.
Yeah.
I don't sympathize with it, but I can understand it. I think the bigger crime here in this is if you are unaware of the hypocrisy. That's what drives me crazy. If you're not willing to accept the hypocrisy of your belief structure, telling you to live your life and not judge others, but then you judge everyone that doesn't live their lives like you. If you're unable to see that, I think that's the bigger crime. And I think that's a bigger sign of your lack of intelligence than just wanting to have something to believe in. That's kind of where
We agree
I
to
go with it.
disagree. I just think they're idiots.
Can I say something and then we'll go?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because you have to do the
Sponsors.
the sponsors and stuff
Yeah.
that I'm not responsible for, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's great.
I will say this. You and I talked, we texted back and forth this morning, and we spoke briefly before the show, and we had a whole show planned out. We actually didn't do any of the things that we talked about before the show.
So what? That's how we do
Not
stuff.
one thing that we mentioned was
I know.
brought up.
I was pissed because I wanted to talk about this museum of balls here in Toronto that's opening up. Did you see this? And we didn't get a chance to.
Okay,
Toronto's
that's
getting a museum
the
of balls.
one thing that we talked about, the Museum of Balls. That we got it in. Nice work, buddy. That's the show.
The whole museum is dedicated to balls.
I am sending locker room listeners there.
Should
It's a
do like
trip
a
with
contest,
the
yeah,
locker
where you
room.
go to the ball museum with the guys from the locker room.
Can you send me that, please?
Thousands of balls, pits full of balls hanging from the ceiling. You got to make your way through a whole bunch of sweaty balls, all sweaty.
We were laughing the other day
running through the
because
ball pit.
all these radio stations get scammed now because hackers will send messages. They'll hack the radio station site and they'll send messages to the people that are on it saying that they've won something, and then they end up getting their information and then they get scammed. And I'm like, no one's ever going to do that to the locker room because we've never actually given away a decent prize. None of our audience would believe it.
The other thing we didn't talk about too was your home province of Alberta deciding they don't want to be a part of Canada, but also
that guy's an
co-opting Saskatchewan, Manitoba. We'll get to this on Friday. We'll talk about this on
Okay.
Friday because I think it's time too. I think.
Oh shit! I can't do a show on Friday. I'll
Why
be
not?
drunk. I got my charity golf tournament. I got the Arden Roof Systems charity golf. They sponsor our show.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, you're going
The
to
roofing company that sponsors our show, and he's a good guy, Stacy. He does a tournament every year for the Stollery Life program. I think there's a couple of spots left, so I'll be at the ranch. I can phone in if you do a show.
Hammered. No. I'm not doing a show with you, dude. I've tried that with you like 3 times. It's a fucking nightmare. You're in the bag. You're like talking to me half the time. You're taking a golf. Like dude. It is terrible doing a mobile show with you.
You mean like
Awful.
a sober show with me?
Oh yeah, it's the worst. Well, dude, I can't, like, I love doing hammered shows with you, especially when you get all riled up and you get hammered because all the triggers happen. But when you're on the scene, you've got ADHD to the 50th degree.
Yeah,
so
I need
you got input around you, we're fucked. You can't have anybody around you. You got to have yoga mats and a computer, and that's it. That's all you need.
That's a really good
Nice
point.
fuck Trudeau hat, by the way.
Last time I wore this, you didn't even notice it. I wore this because I thought we were going to talk about other stuff. But anyway.
Like Trudeau?
Yeah. Well, no. We were going to talk about the wanting to separate from Canada. But we'll
talk about it Thursday maybe. Maybe we'll do tomorrow instead. We'll do an early
All right.
one.
Well, let me know. If you are doing a show tomorrow, give me a heads up.
Yeah, we are. Do a show tomorrow. See you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, brother.
See you. Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. That's give him a listen every single weekday morning. 957cruisefm.ca. At Lachlan Cross on Twitter is where you can find him as well. I'm sure on Facebook. What you can't find on Facebook, Canadian news. You idiots. Thanks to our friends and sponsors for making this possible, including our guys over at Cantork, Canada's assembly tool experts. Cantork makes rugged, hardworking, beautiful torque wrenches. Canada's leading industrial tool experts, offering the very best in sales, service, rentals, calibration, maintenance, and custom fabrication of industrial torque tools. No matter the scale of your bolting project, they have your loosening/fastening solution in the railroad industry, nuclear industry, heavy machinery, forestry, steel industry. These guys make torque wrenches for heavy equipment operators around the world. And they're located here in beautiful Canada. In fact, Edmonton, Alberta, Edmonton, Ontario. Oh my God, you people would have lost it. In Edmonton, Alberta, almost did it again. And Colin Livingston and his group, by the way, Colin, big winner this weekend in a track race. Dude is part of the Tagliani race team. He races the karts. He led from start to finish. We only hire winners around here. Winner, chicken dinner. Colin Livingston, Cantork. Go to cantork.com for more information. As always, brought to you by our friends at Gitch, Canada's finest pair of luxuriously branded boxer briefs with the pouch in the front. GITCH, engineered for any level of performance as well as everyday life, made for all levels that you can walk, run, sprint through your life. Very soft, super comfortable, barely their fabric, moisture wicking and everything. Luxurious. These things are like, and when I say luxury, this is luxury. Trust me. Great waistband, maybe the best underwear on the market right now, made in Canada for Canadians. That's why the pouch is bigger. Gitch3 is your promo code. If you want to order a pair, in fact, you can order 3. You'll get the 4th for free with Gitch3 at edsfineimports.com. Again, go to edsfineimports.com. Clothing for men and boys. And Gitch, engineered for any level of performance. That's it for us. Have a great day, everybody. Appreciate you being here. That's it. I'm done. See you tomorrow. We'll talk about Alberta separating from the rest of Canada. It's not a terrible idea. We'll draw the map tomorrow. Have a great day. See you then. Bye.